Portable power stations are beginning to become a dime a dozen these days. Everyone and their uncle is starting to make them, and you're starting to see a lot of off brands out there, a lot of brands that you've never heard of before, and the market is actually becoming pretty saturated. Everybody wants a piece of the pie right now because these are really popular. A lot of people are getting into portable power, and so everybody wants to try to get their product out as fast as possible. And the problem with that, it's really difficult. It's becoming more difficult to tell the difference between a good portable power station and a not so good one. I'm not an expert on these things at all. I will tell you that right away. But over the past 2 years, I've done a ton of research on these things because I've become very interested in them. And I think I've learned how to recognize the difference between what is a quality unit and what is a unit that a company's just trying to push out there to make sales. So what I hope to do is with these videos on these power stations is that I hope to pass on some of the information that I've learned through my research so you guys can make an informed decision, especially for those of you that are looking to get your very first power station, because there is a lot of options out there and they are kind of expensive. So you want to make sure that the money that you're putting towards these things is going to be well spent. So today, the one that I want to show you, it's this one right here, and it's the Bluetti AC50s. And so far, I'm really impressed at what this little unit can do. I mean, I love it. The form factor on it is really cool. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second. So let's check out the Bluetti AC50s. Hey, welcome to the channel, everyone. Nice to have you here. My name is Russ. In case this is your first time here, I usually do videos about drones and drone-related tech and action cameras and things like that. But I've also taken a liking to portable power stations over the past 2 years, also known as solar generators. Some people call them solar generators. I always take one out when I'm heading out to fly anywhere for any kind of length of time. Like if I'm just going out for the day and I'm just going to go through a couple of batteries, I don't take one with. But if I'm driving a few hours away and want to fly, I always take one of these with me because I think it's so convenient to be able to just plug your battery in when you're done flying. And by the time you get back home, your drone batteries are all charged again, so you don't have to worry about it. But in addition to using these for my drones and my cameras and things like that, I also use them for many of the outdoor activities that my family and I engage in, things like camping and fishing and just kind of outdoor adventures. When I got my first generator, I was, of course, looking for the best one, so I got the Honda 2200i. But the disadvantage to it is it's gas, so you can't use it indoors. It's very stinky. It's pretty quiet for a gas generator, but it's still kind of loud. And then also the biggest thing is it weighs 47 pounds. So it's pretty heavy. It's not meant for portability. It's not meant for some of the things that I want to use one of these for. And so what I did is I started looking for some portable power stations, solar generators. This one right here in particular, the AC50s, it fits the needs of the average consumer. I mean, it's just the right size, it has just the right amount of power. So when I opened the box from Bluetti for the AC50s, the first thing that I noticed when I opened it is how compact this thing is, the form factor of it, the weight of it. Like that's the biggest reason I think this is the best one for people that are just getting into having their very first portable power station. The square design is awesome because it fits in anywhere. Like you can pack it in. You know, everything that we keep in storage usually is square. And a lot of the other portable power stations, they have that handle on top and it kind of makes them oblong and just odd to put into certain places. So this packs away really easily into my pickup. And so that's really nice. So I just love the form factor. The handles are foldable. So the handles fold down to make it more easy. Why can't I talk? They make it easier to store when you put the handles down. Then you just fold the handles up and you pick it up. So easy to transfer and to store. It only weighs 13.5 pounds, so it does fit my portability requirement as opposed to my 47-pound Honda generator. This unit, I guess I probably should tell you, this is a 500 watt hour, 300 watt power station. So what can you charge with that? Well, according to the specs for Bluetti, you can charge your iPhone up to 42 times. You can run your CPAP machine for 17 hours with the humidifier on. I know a lot of people get these for their CPAPs, like if they go out camping for their camper, you know, you just plug your CPAP into this. I did read one review that one gentleman ran his CPAP without the humidifier with this unit for 37 hours. You can run a portable 45 watt camper fridge, you know, those little camper fridges or coolers or whatever, for about 10 hours. So that's pretty good. Unfortunately, it can't run my little Traeger Ranger pellet smoker. I kind of wish it would, but I need 450 watts for that. And this one, you can only use devices that are 300 watts, up to 300 watts. Just make sure you check your devices that you plan to use and just make sure that they don't have more than a 300 watt draw. The AC50s does have a 450 watt peak tolerance, but that's only for initial startups. You're not going to be able to draw that continuously. Blue Yeti also claims that you can charge your GoPro battery 80 times and that you can charge 18 drone batteries. What? 18 drone batteries for this little thing? I have a really hard time believing that. So I'm going to test it right now. Okay, so here I have 3 batteries. I have 2 Mavic Air batteries, 1 Air 2S batteries, but they're basically the same. And they're all under 15%. I brought them down to about 13%. And we're going to charge these with the AC50s. Right now I do have 100% capacity on the AC50s. That is one little negative, I guess. It would be nice to have the actual percentage. This drops down by 20% at a time. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the AC power button. You have to hold it, turn it on. Okay, AC is on. And first one's lighting up. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the timer stopwatch. So we're gonna see how long this takes, and then we're gonna see how much capacity we have left. It takes a little bit of time for it to kick in, and I think it's trying to figure out, yep, right there, that one is charging first. So it is charging about 34 watts right now. All right, so let's come back a little bit later and see how long this takes. All right, so let's check and see where we're at. Looks like it's still charging the second battery and it shows 80% remaining. That's why I mentioned it'd be nice to have the actual like percentage of power remaining, but it only shows 20% increments. But
hey Dad.
Hey, what's up?
When are you gonna help me start my YouTube channel?
Well, have you decided what you want to have a YouTube channel about?
I'm not reading that.
Just read it.
I want to be as awesome as you and do tech reviews.
Well, it does take a lot of time, a lot of experience to learn how to do that.
But isn't there a quicker way to become a YouTuber?
Actually, there is a quicker way. You could try Skillshare. Skillshare has several classes that can teach anyone at any level how to start their very own YouTube channel. In fact, Skillshare has thousands of inspiring classes about a wide variety of topics like film and video, marketing, photography, web development, and so much more. It truly is a community whose purpose is to inspire others to explore their passion and reach their creative goals. So, buddy, who would you say is the greatest tech YouTuber of all time?
You.
Well, besides me.
MKBHD.
That's right. MKBHD, the greatest of all time. And guess what? He has a class on here on Skillshare called YouTube Success that covers everything that you need to start a successful YouTube channel. Now, some of the best things about Skillshare is that it's curated for learning, so it's nice and streamlined and you don't have to worry about any ads popping up. And if you happen to take a break from a class, you can always come back and pick up right where you left off. And right now, the first 1,000 people that use the link in the video description down below are gonna get a free premium membership to Skillshare. That's amazing, you guys. And I highly recommend that class from MKBHD as one of your very first classes. So thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. So we're gonna come back here in about an hour and we should be almost done charging all 3 of these batteries. And we'll see how much power we have left on the AC50s, and we'll see how long it took to charge these 3 batteries. What are we at? We're at 4 hours and 2 minutes. So 4 hours and 2 minutes to charge 3 Air 2S batteries or Mavic Air 2 batteries. So their claim of being able to charge 18 drone batteries, I think maybe they're referring to 18 Tello batteries. I don't know, maybe the mini batteries or the mini 2 batteries, but definitely not gonna get 18 charges from the Air 2S or the Mavic 2 Pro or Skydio or anything like that. So just over 4 hours, and it still shows 80% left on the LCD panel. That's kind of misleading because, you know, when we cut in halfway here, when we were about 2 hours into it, it dropped to 80% then. So it's definitely not 80% left in here. It's probably closer to 60%, but it hasn't reached that threshold yet. So that is, I think, the thing that I dislike the most about this is it doesn't have an exact percentage amount of power left in it. So yeah, you might be able to do this 3 more times. So maybe 9 of these batteries but definitely not 18. Okay, so taking a look at the design of the AC50s, it has a very nice bright information LCD panel on the front. It has two 3 amp 12 volt DC output ports right here, which are not regulated. So as the battery discharges, the output's going to decrease on these. However, the 12 volt car port is regulated and it has a 10 amp max output. Now, one of the greatest things ever about this is the wireless charging on top. You just set your phone on top of it and it begins to charge. So I do love that so much. It has 4 USB ports with a 5 volt 3 amp max. So it doesn't have quick charge on those USB ports, but if you really wanted to quick charge something with this, you could use the DC car port and then just get an inexpensive adapter that you can get on Amazon for like $15 or $20. I'll put a link down in the description for a couple of good ones, but you can use that DC port and then you can fast charge. It has 2 AC plugins here for just about anything that you want to power or charge. It has a really nice soft lantern light on the back that works great for in the tent or the camper. And I love that. It's way better than some of the other ones that just have basically a little flashlight on them. Like this one lights up the whole area around it. The AC50s does support pass-through, so you can charge it while it's being used. That's really convenient. And it has an MPPT charging controller for solar charging. So it uses the excess voltage that solar panels can produce, and it charges your battery faster. In fact, if you have adequate lighting, you can actually charge this unit faster with solar than you can with AC. This really is the most efficient solar generator that I have studied or read about or had the opportunity to use. It does come with an MC4 adapter, which is the most common solar panel connection. So if you do have a panel or two from another brand, it's most likely going to be compatible. The inverter on the AC50s is a pure sine inverter, and it is a very stable one at that. Now, I'm sure that many of you watching this are trying to decide between the Bluetti AC50s and the Jackery Explorer 500 because they are two of the best. They're kind of in the same category. The Jackery Explorer 500 it's proven. It's been around for a long time. A lot of people get this one. And the AC50s Bluetti is also very established. It's a very good brand. There's a couple of reasons that I would actually choose the AC50s over the Jackery 500. There's one reason I would choose the Jackery over the Bluetti, and that is that it has 200 watts more inverter, so you can run bigger things off of it. Like I can run my little Traeger grill with the Jackery, so that is an advantage to the Jackery. The other advantage, I guess, to the Jackery is that it actually gives you a real percentage of battery left. You know, this actually has the bars on it, on the LCD panel, and the percentage, so you know exactly what's left. The Bluetti AC50s does not have that. It only gives you the bars. But here's the thing, the Bluetti AC50s has a 1,000 charge life cycle down to 85%. So that means after 1,000 uses, after 1,000 charges, you're only going to get it up to 85%. The Jackery only has 500 charge life cycle, and that brings it to 80%. So you're getting twice the amount of usage out of the Bluetti than you are the Jackery. You're going to be able to run bigger things with the Jackery, but you're going to get more usage over the long term out of the AC50s. So I think for your dollar, I think the AC50s is the better option. And then the other reason that I like it better is that it's a little more compact. It fits in the back of my pickup under the back seat. This box design is so nice, and you can slide it in so many different places that you can't with this because the handle sticks up. It's not that much, but it's surprising how much difference that makes. So I do like that. And then also I do like that wireless charger on top. You just go ahead and set your phone right on top and it starts charging. So I do like that. So if you guys are trying to decide between these two, it is a tough decision. The Jackery is a little bit more. It's about $100 more than the Bluetti. But like I said, over the long term, you're gonna get more use, I think, out of this Bluetti. It's more compact, and yeah, so it's up to you, but that's my reasoning of why I would go with the Bluetti right now. Secondly, you can hook up multiple solar panels to charge this unit. So if you have two smaller panels, you can run them together and you can charge up to 122 watts at a time. And that's a feature that you normally only see on bigger, much more expensive units. So what are the opportunities for improvement on the AC50s? First of all, it does charge quite slowly through AC. I only got a maximum of 83 watts when I was charging through the wall. So it's going to take about 6 hours to fully charge. Now, if you have a solar panel and a very nice, bright, sunny day, you can speed that up significantly. Now, another slight negative, and it's not that big of a deal, but it's concerning the fan, It's not that it's so much louder than the other ones that I've heard, but it does seem to cycle a lot more. So it's constantly running and stopping if you're using any kind of variable power drop. So just be aware of that. Like I said, it's not a deal breaker, but it is something that I noticed. The last thing that I want to mention about this unit is that the pricing is great. It's the perfect balance of cost to power for those of you looking for your very first portable power station. It's under $400, and there is usually a coupon on Amazon to get it even cheaper. The AC50s is now the unit that I'm going to keep in my vehicle at all times. The portability and the usability of it make it perfect for my use case. I'm going to put a link down in the video description if you want to learn more about this thing, or if you want to purchase one for yourself. If you got any value from this video, click on that thumbs up button. I really appreciate that. That does really help this video do well. Comment below any questions that you have about this unit, and if I don't know the answer to it, I'll reach out to Blue Yeti and I'll get an answer for you right away. The first 24 hours of this video being released, I'm going to answer every single comment. So if you do have a question, let me know. Once again, great big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check out the free trial link in the video description. Thanks for watching the entire video today, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.